Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully your day is going well. This is Commissioner Kevin Morrison representing the 15th District here in the Northwest Suburbs. I want to first and foremost thank everyone who is joining us live today, or those of you who may be watching this recording later on. Today, I am fortunate to be joined by three of our great supervisors representing Schaumburg, Hanover, and Elk Grove Townships here in the 15th District. Barrington Township, unfortunately, had a prior engagement, or else they would have been joining us as well, since they represent a large portion of our district too. But I want to let all of you know that as we get to questions, if you have any questions specific to Barrington Township, Palatine, or Wheeling, we'll make sure to get you the answers you need and connect you with the supervisors and township representatives from those areas as well. At the best of times, our offices all work incredibly close with one another, but especially in times like this, we need to make sure that we're all joining together and making sure that we're getting the resources and services most needed to our communities. Our townships have really been stepping up from everything from food services to online services for our seniors and the like. I don't want to steal too much from the efforts taken up here in our township, so I'll leave it to our supervisors to discuss more of the services being offered. I did want to give an update. Just yesterday, the county board voted to defer the second installment of property taxes for 2 months and to eliminate any fees in that process as well. We're all trying to step up right now to help our local businesses, our homeowners, our families, and make sure that we're all going to get through this stronger than ever. But without further ado, I want to welcome our great supervisors joining us today. Today we've got Supervisor Michael Sweeney of Elk Grove Township, Supervisor Brian McGuire of Hanover Township, and Supervisor Timothy Heneghan of Schaumburg Township. Thank you three for all joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. Before I introduce our first supervisor to speak, I did want to put out to all those who are watching, if you have any questions for any of the supervisors, for myself, about anything going on, you could put that in the comments and we will see them and try to get to them as we get to our discussion. But without further ado, I want to pass over the mic to Supervisor Brian McGuire of Hanover Township to begin. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Commissioner. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to join you today. Hanover Township started planning for this on February 26th. We held our first planning meeting with our administrator and our Emergency Services Director and Director of Community Health, getting ready to take a look at what the township needed to do. And the next day, all the department heads at our township were asked to submit memos of how they would continue operations to the community if the pandemic should be declared in the state. Fortunately, because of that planning, Hanover Township has continued to offer just about all of our services, while we have transferred many of those services to a virtual delivery, as well as a curbside delivery for our food pantry. We have been able to continue to provide our therapy sessions with our youth and family services therapists. Our outreach social service coordinators from senior services have been meeting with folks, as well as our community health nurses have also been very active during this time. And so Hanover Township residents continue to receive those services. And we've also worked very closely, not only with your office, but with the municipalities within Hanover Township, and kept in regular contact with the townships that surround us. Supervisor Heneghan and I have spoken regularly during this operation.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Supervisor. I'm really happy to have you here with us today. Thank you. And next, I would like to introduce everyone to Supervisor Michael Sweeney of Elk Grove Township to bring a discussion of how Elk Grove has been transitioning due to COVID-19. Thank you so much for being with us, Supervisor.
Thank you so much. And I'll reiterate and echo those thanks to Commissioner Morrison and his staff for getting this all set up and utilizing technology we fortunately have available so that we can deliver this message and inform folks about what the townships are doing. So thank you for this opportunity. Really appreciate the invite. So during this pandemic, the one question I get asked more than anything is, what is Elk Grove Township doing to meet the needs of the community? And kind of my initial answer is Elk Grove Township is doing what we've always done, what we've done before the pandemic, what we're doing during the pandemic, what we'll continue to do beyond the pandemic, hopefully sooner than later, is helping people that are in a difficult financial, or social, emotional, having social, emotional difficulties, helping them through a very difficult time. So we're going to continue to do that. Obviously, how we've communicated with individuals, like Supervisor McGuire was saying, we've had to modify how we engage with individuals in the community, but we're still doing what we have always done. During this pandemic, as if we didn't need something added to our plate, we moved our administrative offices at the end of March. So we had to deal with that move in addition to the pandemic. But I'm happy to report that we were only closed for one day on a Friday for the move. That following Monday, we were back in operations, communicating with folks that need our help. So what is different? How we're communicating: email, phone, fax, U.S. mail, people dropping off paperwork so that we can get them the services they need. So we're communicating with folks in a safe way, however we can, to ensure that they're getting the services they require. We plan to open up the offices soon, but we're putting procedures in place to make sure everybody is safe. So what services do we provide? The food pantry is drive up, so we continue to offer that service. Once we're open to the public, when it is safe to do so, we'll have a shop, a self-select food pantry where folks can shop, and like a grocery store. We have a commercial cooler and freezer, so we're able to provide a lot of the fresh produce, milk, eggs, frozen protein, chicken, those kind of things. So we try to give everyone a well-rounded choice while we're going through the drive-through, so that they have a well-rounded nutrition. Our transportation for seniors and disabled continues to help folks out, gets folks not only to their doctor's appointments, to the pharmacy, to the grocery stores, so they can take advantage of the essential services. But we're also using our bus drivers to deliver food to folks that can't get out. So in addition to driving folks places, they're delivering food as well. Our employment center is alive and kicking. So folks that are looking to change jobs or unfortunately furloughed or going through difficult financial situations and they need help finding a new job, we're there. We offer financial assistance for rent, gas, utilities, but also to meet the social emotional needs. We've switched to teletherapy for our adult and family counseling staff, has switched to an online platform that's all HIPAA compliant, so that folks that need to engage and kind of talk through and have somebody to talk to and communicate with, we're offering that service, and it's been very successful. And we're doing that with our youth services staff as well, so that youth have an outlet to talk through some of the difficult challenges they're having. The last point I'll make is at Elk Grove Township, and I know a lot of townships do this, what we're really doing every day is we take a holistic approach to meeting people's needs. We provide direct service, but we utilize our partners through our Elk Grove Township Agency Collaborative, essentially work to treat the disease, not just the symptoms. So we want to help give people well-rounded support so that they can get back on their feet, be self-sufficient, and that last point to reiterate, we're coordinating a lot with other units of government. So it's been really a team effort that we appreciate. And with that, I'll hand it back. So thanks again, Commissioner. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Grateful to have you here, Supervisor. Thank you for being with us. Again, for all those who are watching live currently, if you have any questions for the supervisors or for myself, please feel free to leave your questions in the comments. We'll be sure to get to them as soon as we get to our discussion portion. And without further ado, I want to introduce our Schaumburg Township Supervisor, Timothy Heneghan. Thank you so much for being with us, Supervisor.
Thank you, Commissioner Morrison. This is a tough act to follow after these two guys. But first and foremost, I just want to thank Commissioner Morrison and your staff for putting this together. And of course, all the support you have given us since this all started back in March. And then also the Schaumburg Township employees, they've been fabulous. They have stepped up like you can't even believe. They never shied away from any of the challenges that they faced, and they are serving the people. And I'm just really going to reiterate, because we're kind of doing exactly the same thing as the neighboring townships. But once again, it's the townships that serve the people that are in most need, and we have never let up ever. And now we have stepped up. So just to kind of reiterate that. But, we quickly and effectively mobilized to continue operations to our vulnerable populations from day one. We work closely with Hanover, and thank you, Supervisor McGuire, for your leadership, because we just collaborate constantly. Like you said, we've been in constant contact. We're able to offer assistance for a myriad of issues a resident could be facing, including food insecurity, job loss, social isolation, benefit access, utility assistance. The list goes on. And like I said, we always do that. Townships do that, especially in Cook County here. Townships consistently address these tough issues and are uniquely positioned to do so with our institutional knowledge of available programs, services, resources, and information. And we are proud to serve the community. And just like the other supervisor was saying, we've gone virtual programming because we've had to, because we're hoping to open up soon. But just since March 24th, we've had almost 5,300 visits to our drive-through food pantry on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's almost 20,000 household members that we're giving food to. We've been doing about 420 food deliveries, and we've done 6,000 wellness calls, as well as almost 1,000 dialysis rides to people that have to get to those appointments. We also done almost 100 critical medical rides, and then we have been serving about 622 homebound people. So whether it's getting them food or getting them bingo cards just so they can get on our virtual programming, and it's all just about helping people not go crazy during this time, especially the ones that cannot get out of their house, even maybe to take a walk. So with that, we're just going to keep plugging away and hopefully open it up soon. But we're not going to jam 100 seniors into our Thursday bingo in the gymnasium, so we're going to have to figure out how we're going to take care of that. But there's no doubt that we will keep plugging away to take care of our residents. So thank you, and I'll turn it back to you, Commissioner.
Thank you so very much, Supervisor. I'm very grateful again to have you three joining us today. Again, for all those who are watching live, please feel free to place any of the questions you might have in the comments. But for the moment, I have a question for the three supervisors we have on. Now, I know that we've all been partnering, and one of the most important things that we have to fulfill over the next several months is making sure we get a complete count with the census. So how have your individual townships been transitioning to continue to get the word out about the census to make sure we get a complete count in our districts?
Sure. Hanover's been really utilizing our social media platforms to continue, even through this pandemic crisis, to make sure that folks are answering those forms, going online and doing answering the virtual form during that window, but have continued the outreach to our public about the importance of filling out the census. And I think that's something that the other supervisors touched on, is that just because the pandemic is here and we're dealing with this, I think all three townships continue to function with adjustments, but doing all the things we did before and a few extra ones now.
Amazing.
Good point.
Anything, Supervisor Heneghan, Supervisor Sweeney, would you like to add anything about your efforts with the census?
Well, we sent out over 4,000 postcards through the Cook County Census 2020 Outreach Grant, sharing information on social media, like Supervisor McGuire said, and just helping people over the phone. Thank you to Katie Trent. She's been involved with Hanover Park, with that committee, and of course with your office, Commissioner Morrison. So thank you.
Of course. I appreciate it. Well, as we all know, it's did you want to add anything, Supervisor?
I'm all set. Thank you.
No worries, no worries. As we all know, getting a complete count is crucial. For those of you watching on my page, we've come out with videos in Hindi, Gujarati, Urdu, Spanish, Polish, and Korean. So if you have a network of populations that speak those languages, feel free to give those a share. But back to township supervise issues that affect our townships. I know one of the incredible needs that we have right now are food pantries. I made sure to reach out to all the food pantries in the district, especially after hearing about the upticks in need. And I remember speaking specifically with an individual at Schaumburg Township, and they had mentioned, they were seeing, usually 200 people a week, and in 1 week they got over 800 individuals that came through for food support. So I know that there has been a lot of need for our food pantries. Maybe if you don't mind, supervisors discussing some of the challenges that you may have faced, maybe some of the needs that you have with your food banks, maybe a good opportunity to put in a plug of how individuals who are able might be able to support your food pantries, be it with donations of food and the like to help at this time. Supervisor Sweeney?
Yeah, that'd be great. So the biggest thing I can say is that we've moved. So we're no longer on Arlington Heights Road in Arlington Heights. We are at 600 Landmeyer Road in Elk Grove Village. So we've gotten the word out, and we've doubled our intake for the food pantry. So people are finding us, and obviously that's related to the need as well. But we want people to be able to find us. We're doing very well on food through donations. Our fantastic partnership with Meijer, the fact that we can buy food for pennies on the dollar through the Greater Chicagoland Food Depository. We're in great shape on food. Folks have been very generous. So we're able to help more individuals. We just need people to find us. So I just wanted to reiterate that we have moved. So if you're looking for us on Arlington Heights Road, just come over to Landmeyer and we'll be able to help you out.
Incredible.
Yeah, I would echo the supervisor's comments on the people are certainly finding the township food pantries. One of the switches we've made is that we have gone to a curbside pickup in order to, as the other townships have as well, to make sure that people don't have to have as much contact with other people through the process. But we do ask that people either submit their order through the internet. They can call the township food pantry. The number is on the screen ahead of time to fill out the order. And of course, if they come and they haven't pre-ordered, we'll give them a sheet to fill out and then fill that order. But our food pantry is open 6 days a week, and it continues to see a large spike in usage. As a matter of fact, since we've been tracking everything since March 17th to kind of as it relates to this issue. And we've had over 2,000 visits from folks. And then we've done another 500 deliveries as well to folks who could not get out to the pantry. And that's another adjustment that our pantry made was to start delivery to those that don't have access to get out because of the pandemic. And also add, I'll give a plug in for the Township Foundation. The Hanover Township Foundation, anyone who's looking to support the pantry, because we use our foundation funds to purchase the food. We don't use tax dollars to fund our pantry. Those donations can be made on our website through PayPal, or you can feel free to make a donation to the pantry by dropping it off, but we'll accept donations of food, money, in order to carry out the mission. And we use the Northern Illinois Food Bank because we fall in their region. But again, we have that same access to take your dollar and take it much further through the food bank.
Fantastic. Thank you. Supervisor Heneghan, anything to add about the food pantry?
Well, yeah, we did the same thing with curbside. We're on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 1 and 3. typically we would have 650 visits a month, and since late March we were doing like 800 a week. So our first thought was that we're going to have enough food. We go through the Chicago Food Depository, and they've been great, but early on everybody needed food, so it was a little scarce at first. Then all of a sudden they were able to get us what we needed, and what turned out to be a concern that we wouldn't have enough food. All of a sudden now it almost seems like we have too much, but we're storing it, and we know that we're going to use it and get it out to people. But they've been great, and then the Schaumburg Township residents, they've been very, very generous with monetary and with food donations. So we're the same way. You can drop it off. Certain kinds of food, mostly non-perishables and canned products. But you can also go to our website homepage, schaumburgtownship.org, and we also have a Schaumburg Township Foundation as well to try to help with that as well. And you can send checks to the townships of Schaumburg. And like I said, I think just last month, we had like $50,000 in donations, so we can buy food with that and stuff and do other things. So people have been incredible, whether they've been volunteering or just bringing food or sending money.
Of course, and
I would be remiss. I have to follow these two gentlemen. So the Elk Grove Township Community Empowerment Fund, the donations can be made there as well. We're not set up online, but if folks want to mail or drop off a check, we'll take that. So thank you for the reminder, supervisors. I appreciate it.
Incredible. And one thing I do want to plug in there, I know it's been a conversation as of late that individuals dealing with various health issues, it's more critical than ever that they continue to go and have their checkups. And there's been many stories about individuals dealing with chest pain but having fear about getting health services, which could actually be more dangerous than seeking medical services when you need them the most. But one of the critical things our townships provide is assistance to the disabled, to our seniors. They help individuals get to their doctor's appointments. They help seniors get to dialysis appointments and the like. I know specifically I spoke with Supervisor Heneghan on this topic, and I'm sure it's very similar in most of our townships. But Supervisor Heneghan, if you want to add some of the protocols that have been taken in terms of the shifts, in terms of how you're getting individuals to their doctor's appointments, and some of the precautions to ensure that everyone's safe.
Well, yeah, we bus drivers obviously from day one been wearing masks, and we're sanitizing the buses and washing them all the time. So yeah, we never let up on the dialysis appointments, and obviously, thank God we have enough buses, because we're not going to be putting too many people on a bus. So and of course you got to stay 6 feet away. So we obviously have masks and stuff. Even if someone wouldn't have a mask, we're gonna give them the mask. And I also, just real quick, Commissioner, if I may, our disability and senior services have been doing the virtual programs like we talked about, and every day we're doing it twice a week, whether it's a cooking deal, a meditation deal, or our director, Megan Conway, her husband plays guitar. He's been out there doing things. So we're just trying to keep people, happy and not thinking about being locked up. So
that's incredible. No, yeah. And I definitely know that the individuals who take part very much appreciate it. As humans, we're all social creatures. And, right now, if we have to stay connected using the internet, at least we can do so. And I'm very thankful that our townships have been going above and beyond and providing those services. Supervisor McGuire, I know you do a lot with our seniors. Same with you, Supervisor Sweeney. If you would like to discuss how you've transitioned and some of the cool opportunities that are being placed to keep interaction going with our senior community.
Sure. One of the things that we operate our congregate meal program out of the township, and one of the things that has continued is we have continued to do our congregate meal program through a curbside pickup. We've actually served just under 2,200 meals curbside since this began, and we've delivered about 6,000, almost 7,000 home delivered meals through this crisis. And we continue. Our senior center is still open. We're just not doing congregate programming. And so folks that need service, like our lending closet, and folks that need to meet with our community health nurses, while we do have those appointments preset and practice social distancing, the one thing is that Hanover Township has not shut down its building access. We continue to see folks that come in practicing with shields and masks and all those things. But the senior department continues, just like our partners in Elk Grove and Schaumburg, with virtual programming, and just under 10,000 well-being calls have been made to seniors during this time by the department. And so a lot of the social interaction programming that the township does has just moved online into a Zoom setting while we all manage through social distancing.
Amazing. Incredible. And I just want to put a reminder out there for those watching us live. Please feel free to place any questions for any of our supervisors and the like in the comments, and we'll be happy to get to them. Thank you again, supervisors, for joining us. Right now it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and mental health services are quite critical. Any supervisors want to jump in with a word of some of the services being offered or anything for Mental Health Awareness Month?
Yeah, so I had mentioned previously, but this was, like I said, we just have a phenomenal staff. I mean, that's how we all gotten through it. And I know both Brian and Tim have mentioned the incredible staffs that have gone above and beyond. This was an idea brought to me by one of our counselors, and came in to my office and said, Mike, we have this capability, and we track our notes through this software. We have the capability to go to teletherapy, so that folks and of course we partner with the Kenneth Young Center for more serious type illnesses and for medication and things like that. But from social, emotional, kind of everyday standpoint, we're able to counsel folks. And I'm very happy to report that our counselors are telling me that folks have really, current clients, but also additional clients have really taken advantage, and they've become very comfortable with being able to speak online and knowing that it's safe and it's HIPAA compliant. But having staff that'll bring these opportunities to us, and having the software and the platforms to do it safely and interact and give people an outlet has been tremendous for folks in Elk Grove Township.
Fantastic.
I would just build on that. The supervisors, hit it. I think what we're all doing is our youth and family service therapists are doing the video therapy as well as phone therapy for those that don't have access to the internet. I know that's for some people, it is a challenge to get on the internet, and so they have that phone ability. And as well as Hanover Township funds just over $1 million into mental health agencies. And we've also opened up emergency grants to those agencies, and our mental health board manager has remained in constant contact with all those agencies to make sure that their services are continuing, that our residents know about those agencies that provide them.
Amazing.
Yeah, and for us, we're combating social isolation through our Send a Smile campaign, in which we are gathering handmade cards, notes, and drawings to be mailed to older adults and people with disabilities in the community. And, we also moved our annual Minds Matter Mental Health Fair to an online format, because it usually goes on in the beginning of May. And then, just doing presentations and resources are available on the website and social media pages. But just to touch base too on our disability, senior, and welfare services, we're assisting residents remotely with the local and federal benefits programs like SNAP, energy assistance, the Medicare, Medicaid, and more. And they're also available for troubleshooting, the many problems impacting the community right now.
Incredible. No, thank you for sharing all of that. And I got to shout out Kenneth Young Center. I know that they provide a lot of our services, and they commented that they're grateful for their partnership with our townships, and we're grateful for them. I was actually with a bunch of the staff from Kenneth Young this morning over at the Trickster Art Gallery, packing care packages, bags with food and necessities for our seniors and for our veterans. And so they're stepping up all over, especially as it connects with mental health, but also with ways that we've been able to get through this. Maybe it would be fun if we are able to each share a way that folks could volunteer with your townships. But also, I think it'd be cool if you include something that you've been doing personally that helps you get by during this time. For me, it's been cooking. Cooking is something I'm passionate about and really helps me disconnect from the world and do something I enjoy. But also, what's kept me going is these volunteer opportunities. I helped in Schaumburg Township dropping off Easter baskets to our youth in the township. I was in Hanover Township dropping off meals for our seniors. Supervisor Sweeney, please let me know how I could volunteer. I'd be grateful and definitely jump on board to come help out in Elk Grove. But I know that right now it's important that we find ways that we enjoy and for our own mental health. So if you want to share a way that you've been able to get through this, as well as how folks could volunteer with your townships. Should we start with Supervisor McGuire? We'll do a round circle.
Sure. We use volunteers, obviously, to do home delivered meals, as well as we just brought back, we've started to bring back volunteers in our food pantry. One of the things Hanover did do when the initial pandemic started is we did not use our volunteers because we were concerned for their health. And so we've started to bring them back in those two areas. But another opportunity that Hanover Township has for people that want to volunteer is Hanover Township operates a Department of Emergency Services. And they assist the first responders and are uniquely trained, and their whole purpose is to respond to disasters. So needless to say, they've been very active during this time, and those volunteers have donated over 5,500 hours to the township since March 17th. And they are on a 24-hour staffing model. Now, this is all through volunteers, staffing their station 24/7, and they've responded to 25 emergency calls since this started to back up first responders, whether that be on traffic management issues, for accidents, fire calls, or search and rescue. So we've got something for everybody at Hanover Township. And so I have stayed busy. I have rediscovered walking. And so I get in a couple miles to clear my head, and that is what I have tried to do in order to counter my rediscovering of eating.
Yeah,
I love that. And in normal times, we usually don't have time to walk or to cook. So right. I love that. That's great. Supervisor Sweeney.
What was the first? Now I'm done. I was here.
Are there any opportunities for individuals to volunteer, and what's something that you've been doing to keep up with your mental health? Something you enjoy doing at this time?
Yeah, sorry, I got drawn into Brian's story.
Enjoy yourself.
Volunteer, Supervisor Sweeney. We'd set you right up in emergency services.
I'm going to come right over. There you go. There you go.
Fire helmet.
So we actually had a very robust plan leading into because we had a very small food pantry at our old building, and we have a very impressive food pantry now. So we had the fantastic folks, our food pantry manager, our social services director, and our teams here had a very robust volunteer program planned, and this happened. So now that we've got settled into the new building and we've got a handle on addressing the needs of the community, that's the next phase that we're kind of ramping up to get in once we open to the public and get into a place where folks can come to the building and help sort food. We don't know when exactly we'll go to self-select, so we're going to continue to do curbside. But we're ramping up into a volunteer program. We'll have information out about that in the next several weeks. We already have a good list of volunteers. We just need to make sure it's safe for them to come back and engage, and we want to have protocols in place. But sorting food, taking deliveries, helping folks out to their car, you name it, there's going to be plenty of opportunities there. So as far as what I do to keep my wits about me during this difficult time, I got 3 kids to keep me busy. They jump on me a lot. I got a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a brand new 3-year-old. So they keep me busy. Still able to do some volunteer things through their school to engage with other families. But really, the most fun I've had recently is my father gave my oldest an old Fitbit, and my oldest is dragging me around, talking about walking. These last 3 days, he's been at 16 to 18,000 steps and shaking his finger at me, telling me, you got till midnight to get your steps, Dad. So I'm working hard, but just being at home with the family has been been good. They're always there, but I'm sure they feel the same way about me. Dad's always there. When is he going to leave? But we're having fun. We're enjoying time together.
Oh, very happy to hear it. Amazing. And Supervisor Heneghan.
Well, I was telling Supervisor McGuire before this started, I work for the local gas utility, so we're considered essential. So a lot of things haven't changed for me, and I've been blessed. So I'm out working every day, whether it's out of the house. Sometimes you get to go to the office if you have to. I'm out on the street a lot, so that, a lot of things haven't changed for me. But like Supervisor McGuire tends to do, he stole my thunder, because I was going to say, you're cooking and I'm eating. And of course, too much, like a lot of people. And I'm also, doing a lot of walking as well, but probably catching up things, around the house that I've let go over the years. So, getting that done. But we've been doing everything with our employees. And like I said, Danette Zanoni and her welfare staff, and Nick Christopher and the transportation. Every employee in this building has stepped up. So we didn't need volunteers early on, but I know we're bringing back some food pantry volunteers. And then we have a large, army of volunteers, but a lot of them are older, so we can't really bring them back. So we're probably looking for more youthful ones, just because, they're not as susceptible to the COVID.
Awesome. Incredible. Well, I thank you all for joining us today. I know we're going to continue working closely together. I know that we are all incredibly passionate about finding ways to get through this. I'm a strong believer that when we finally do get through this epidemic, we will be stronger than ever, and we'll be able to make sure that we are able to deal with whatever comes our way. It is the health and the welfare of our constituents that's most important. And so for those of you watching, if any questions come up, for those of you who watch this recording, please send them our ways, and we'll make sure to get you the answers you need. But thank you again, supervisors, for joining me. I'll go around the horn one more time if you want to share any last thoughts. But I just want to let you know I really appreciate you taking the time to join us this Friday. Supervisor McGuire?
Sure. First of all, again, thank you for providing us the forum, because, townships operate very efficiently. And unless you need our services, you tend not to think of us. And we are the safety net that every level of government talks about, but township government is actually that safety net that jumps in at times like this and at other times to make sure the most vulnerable people that fall through the cracks of other programs are taken care of. And that's on all the townships on this call. And I want to give a special shout out to the township staff and volunteers that make that happen, because, again, they have continued to do their job each and every day during this pandemic. They've shown up to work. They've donned masks on. They've learned new procedures, as many people have. But sometimes government workers get a bad rap. But I think anybody that's witnessing township employees perform during this time would have a hard time pushing that storyline. And so I think that I thank you again just for giving the townships the opportunity to tell our story, which isn't that sexy, We don't, as I always say, the township is usually not the one that shows up at your door with flashing lights and things like that. But when you need us, you're very happy we're there. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Sweeney?
Yeah, I would just echo again, thank you for this forum, and not only just this forum, I just want to make a comment about anybody that's seen some of these online town halls or things like that. The production value on this thing, just watching it live, is fantastic. So your staff is incredible. So just not only having this platform, but also the way in which you do it is fantastic. And just want to thank the Elk Grove Township staff. One of the things that I've been fortunate enough to do in my time here is we've had some good applicants, and I've had some good finds, not only people that have been here before I arrived, but people I was fortunate enough to hire. We have an incredible team where we get on the same page, we talk through things, we always look for ways in which to push boundaries. We're never satisfied with the services that we provide. We always want to find out how to do it better. And Brian talked about it more efficiently. We never rest, and they do a fantastic job. I could not do it without them. And I look forward to the time where not only you, Commissioner, but folks in the township and anybody else that would like to come see our new facility. It's killing me not to be able to show it off. It's absolutely killing me. So I look forward to the day where you can come in and see it.
I cannot wait. I really look forward to seeing the new location. And Supervisor Heneghan.
Okay, yeah, we're one of the oldest forms of government, and of course we're known as the government closest to the people because we roll up our sleeves and we do what we have to do to help, the most vulnerable. But I'd also be remiss not to talk about real quick. I said about the residents with their monetary donations and with the food donations, but I forgot about our corporate partners in the township. We had Schaumburg Fire Department Benevolent Society give us a $10,000 check, and then just today, Zurich, the insurance company in Schaumburg here, has been doing an incredible donation of food boxes, paper products, and more that have helped our neighbors in need, children, older adults, veterans, etc. But I'm putting out a press conference as we speak. I mean, a press release, because they just donated $25,000, to help us with the food and get food on the tables that people need it the most. So thanks, good big shout out to Zurich. And then of course, Hanover Township with their emergency management. That means a lot to me because as a NICOR gas employee, we have to go into people's houses and we have to respond to, sometimes big emergencies. So I really appreciate that. So thank you. And thank you for having this, Commissioner.
Of course. Well, thank you again for joining us. I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out my staff as well, who've been working on the back end to make these town halls possible. I'm grateful every day for the hard work of my staff, but I know that they're just as grateful for the incredible staff that we have at all of the townships here in the 15th district. I know that you three supervisors work incredibly hard. I know your staff are incredible advocates and doing great jobs right now for our residents here in the northwest suburbs, as well as our townships of Palatine, Barrington, and Wheeling as well. I know we've all been working hard throughout these last couple months and even prior to that, but a little bit harder now. But I am incredibly fortunate to have such great township leadership out here. Thank you again for joining us, and I look forward to having more opportunities like this. And to my own hometown supervisor, Supervisor Sweeney, I cannot wait to see the new location. And once it's safe to do so, I'm going to be there.
Sounds great.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you.